The baseball tour continues. We now go to Maryvale. I couldn't be more excited. You're going to get a chance to see this team play on the turf here for the very first time this season. So let's first talk to head coach Ryan Mohr. Ryan's been the head coach here at Maryvale, going on to his 6th season right now. First of all, Ryan, how's it feel to be back?
It's great to be back. The kids, they've been dying to get back out here, and I'm just happy that after losing last year, that we're going to get hopefully as close to a full season as we can this year with everything going on with COVID. So we're excited. I'm excited. We can't wait to get going with our ball games.
So Ryan, you probably had about a week practice, maybe in a couple days practice last season, and it was the first time you got a chance to get on this field. What's it like being on this field?
It's awesome. This is actually the first time, because it wasn't when the season started last year in March, it wasn't exactly ready. So we were out on our football field. It was a beautiful week that first week in March last year. But we've been lucky to be out here prior to the season with some workouts, and when we had nice days in March and April, all over spring break, some Saturdays and Sundays, we've been out here with the guys working out. So they love it. It's great to be out here, knowing if it rains, a good part of the day, we're still going to be able to get out here and practice and play in games.
In Western New York, it is beautiful, no doubt. They've got the infield, the turf, outfield is grass. It reminds me of Washuta out at Niagara Falls. If anybody that's in the baseball world out here knows, when you go out there, very similar to that setup.
Yep.
So now, let's go ahead and discuss what this season's going to look like. You are built like every other team right now in Western New York. Do we really know what you have at this point? You got a core. First, tell us about the core that's going to be coming back.
Yeah, we bring back 3 guys that had played as sophomores, and then they lost their junior year. So we bring back Carson Harper, awesome leader, going to be our #1 pitcher, shortstop, can play the outfield, hitting the top of the order. Awesome kid, awesome leader. Can't wait to get him back on the field. Austin Prelo is our other returning senior, who plays third base. He'll be in the top of our rotation as well. Another awesome kid, salutatorian in his grade. So very smart kid, another hard worker. And then Dalton Harper, sophomore, who's been up with us in 7th grade. Excellent catcher. I put him up with all the catchers in Western New York here. Does a great job calling a game, hitting. He can hit the ball, drive the ball to all fields. And another great kid. All our kids here at Maryvale are awesome kids that work hard and want to be here just as much as I do.
And not only that, they bring back the experience of a sectional championship that happened in 2017. So that's big, that they can teach what that feeling is like and how to prepare for such a championship.
Yeah, both the Harper boys were on that sectional team that won the Class A championship, and we're both key members in that as freshmen, with Carson and Dalton as a 7th grader. So their experience is huge. They lead by example. They step up and talk when they need to. And couldn't ask for better kids and leaders.
And they're also coming off a season with the football season where they just were leaders out there too.
Yep, absolutely.
So you're talking about they are leaders. It doesn't matter what the sport is. They've shown to be leaders.
Yep, absolutely. Carson always has been, and Dalton, as he's growing up and getting up there as a sophomore, which is still young, but he's got a lot of years experience baseball, and I know the kids respond to him when he speaks up.
I've watched Carson as a leader. I know this kid's a leader out in the field. I've seen it all every time, and I've seen it on multiple different teams, whether it was his summer team, the football team, or here at Maryvale. He's done it over and over again. And as far as Dalton goes, I remember that kid when he came in as a 7th grader in the sectional championships when you played the crossover over at Orchard Park. Do you remember that game?
At Orchard Park was against Lewiston Porter.
Correct.
And Williamsville East in the Class A.
Okay, so when you played over at Orchard Park in there, I remember him going out as a 7th grader and calming his pitcher down in that game and showing he already had leadership right there as a 7th grader.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So now let's talk about what the season brings, right? You have, as we know, most teams don't know what they have at this point, right? It's 3 or 4 kids that have been a part of the program, and that's it. It's been people that are coming up from the modified or the JV levels at this point. This division is loaded with pitching. It's every year after year, it's pitching is what this conference is known for. So how are you going to be ready for your pitchers to be ready for this season?
Well, we've been trying to build up as in our off-season workouts, getting the kids throwing and being able to get out on the turf. We've been able to throw live at times, and being at an indoor facility is just kind of building up their arm strength. And number one is throwing strikes, keeping their pitch counts down. We're going to be playing a condensed season, and if our pitchers can throw strikes, even if they get hit, put the ball in play, and our defense is going to make the plays. But when you walk guys and you do that, pitch counts go up. We got to get into the bullpen, and on the other side of it, we're going to try to do that offensively. Try to work counts, be selective but aggressive as well at times, and try to do the opposite to what we want to do to the other teams as well.
What's the key to success to get to the sectionals, right? We know they're only going to take a limited number this year. What's the key? How do you get there?
Every league game is important. We have 14 league games this year because we're the 8-team ECIC division this year. So 14 of our 20 games, we're getting power points if we win, and we're getting 0 points if we lose. So you have to. Every team is going to have their ace going, and probably in game one we're going to the back-to-back format that ECIC 1 and 2 have done for a few years. So you're going to see the top pitchers every series that you're in, and I mean it just comes down to getting key at bats, throwing strikes, and making the defensive plays. Because unfortunately, probably there's going to be a couple of good teams in our B1 bracket that don't make the sectionals, just based on how the season's structured this year. So every league game is important. We never take any game for granted, but especially this year, you can't do it.
Yeah, and we've seen that with the other sports already, right? Some very good teams not be able to play in the playoff round, but let's be glad they're out here at this point, and that's what I'm excited about, right? These kids playing baseball right now. So now, my last question I have for you is, let's talk about the players we don't know about yet. You got this crop that came up. Tell me about the names that Western New York doesn't know about.
We're excited for all our guys. We got a few seniors that Nick Martin, he was a JV call-up his sophomore year and got some time for us. Big, strong kid, offensive lineman on the football team. He's crushing the ball out here, throwing hard on the mound, and he'll be playing a corner spot when he's not pitching. JJ Shashelski, corner guy pitcher that we're excited about. And our other seniors, we got Jordan Chodazinski, Drew Ward, Justin Bell, and I don't want to forget anybody. I already talked about Austin. And then we only have one junior this year on the team, and Josh Lajeune from his first year up on the varsity. He made the squad as a sophomore last year. And then we have a bunch of underclassmen headed by Dalton, and we have Hunter Murphy, hoping to play the infield, Nick Jacobs, James Reinfleisch, Josh Magda, Aiden Longo. So we have a lot of kids that are trying out for the varsity squad as underclassmen, and they're doing their best to make this team and help us be successful.
Listen, no doubt Maryvale is synonymous with baseball and synonymous with a good team. No doubt we're going to see it. We can't wait to see what happens this season. Coach, thanks for joining me. We're all going to be watching.
Thanks for having us.
Our first interview for Maryvale. A lot of you recognize him. He's the catcher we've known since 7th grade here at Maryvale. It's Dalton Harper. Dalton, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So Dalton, I'm excited, right? I've seen you get a chance to play in the varsity team since 7th grade. You've got a chance as a 7th grader where you sit back and you've learned from some really good players that have come through from Maryvale,
yes.
Right? You're that leader now, right? You're no longer watching, you're the leader. Tell us, as a leader here at Maryvale, what do you have to do to help lead this team this season?
For me, what I took from the team when I was younger is lead by example and just do the fundamentals right. Because if you do the simple things right, then like the details, that wins you games. So
yep, I agree.
Focus on being a team and having fun, and that'll carry over to the field.
Absolutely. Having fun is real big, right? Especially with guys you like out here too, right? So, Dalton, there had to be something, though, that you remember as a 7th grader that somebody did with you that helped you along the way. Is there something that you remember that's going to help you help other people?
I think it was the whole team. It was just how they came together. They accepted me, and they just, even when I made a bad play or something, they were there, picked me up, So I'm going to carry that over and help these guys so we can have fun and hopefully get out there and
win some ball games, right?
Yes.
So Dalton, I was telling the story to your coach as we talked a little bit. I remember you as a 7th grader as you were playing in Orchard Park against Newport, right?
Yes.
In the sectional championships right there. And in that game, I watched you go out and calm your pitcher down, who was a senior at the time. And you go out and calm him down as a 7th grader, right? So you obviously work well with your pitchers. Now I'm going to flip it to now. Pitching this year could potentially be more important than we've seen in any season in the past because of this short, condensed season, right? So tell me how you're going to go ahead and help that pitching staff. What do you have to do as a catcher to lead the way?
As a catcher, I'm going to try my best to get as many pitches as I can. And as a pitching staff, I think as long as we just throw strikes and put it on our defense, because I trust our defense. So if we put it on our defense, we make plays, and keep the pitch count low, we're going to have success.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And you mimicked exactly what your coach said about throwing strikes. So
Yes.
Great job. Obviously, you two are on the same page, right?
Yes.
So Dalton, let's talk about you. You are a national stage player. You've played on the national stage already. First, tell everybody in Western New York some of the teams you've played on.
I've played for the Motor City Hit Dogs. I've been selected for the Perfect Game 13U Select Fest, and I currently play for the Thunderbolts baseball team.
So Motor City Hit Dogs out of Michigan is where you've played.
Yes.
The Perfect Game team out of Atlanta, right? Or
That was Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, that one was. Okay, the Perfect Games are a couple different sites. So this one would be out of Oklahoma. So you can see Dalton's already played on the national stage, done things on the national stage. There is no doubt we're excited to see what you're going to bring this season, Dalton. No doubt all of Western New York's going to be watching. Can't wait to see. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for me.
Our next player from Maryvale. Yep, you recognize him. He is one of the leaders here in this team. Early in sport, just led the football team to some big victories, showed his leadership on the field as the quarterback. Now he brings it to the baseball diamond. You got it. Carson Harper is joining me now. Carson, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So Carson, I have seen you time and time again in the last couple of years be a leader out on this field. It doesn't matter what the sport is. I've seen it in multiple sports. But I'll never forget there was a game I watched over the summer where there were multiple leaders and multiple top players in Western New York playing on this team. And the guy I saw step up and be the leader in that game was you, right? Talk about leadership and what it means to you to lead a team.
I mean, really, leadership is down to one thing. If you can get all your dudes in one line, just all for the same common goal, they're all gonna fight for each other. You gotta let your guys know that, hey, I'm on the front lines with you. I'm not behind you riding the horse with the captain. I'm right on the front lines with you, and we're going to war.
Absolutely. So Carson, I also talked about pitching is the key to success this year. It is every year, I get it. But it could be even more this year. Because of the condensed seasons and short staffs that people are going to have, it could be the back end of staffs that are going to really be the key in this success this season, right? You are a player that could play just about any spot on that field. What are you going to play this season, and how are you going to impact that pitching staff?
Well, mostly I'll be playing middle infield when I'm not pitching, but mainly the pitching staff. You gotta do your job. It's the same every year, year in, year out. Do your job, throw strikes, let your boys behind you help you.
Carson, have you decided where you're going to play next year?
I'm going to be playing club ball at Niagara University.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations on that, first of all.
Thank you.
So, Carson, what's the goal for this season?
You know, stepping away from the game for 2 years, not being able to play because of Corona, I think the first goal is enjoy it. You know, we've been gone way too long, and you don't realize how good it is until it leaves you. So the first goal is definitely enjoy it, especially being senior year. Just enjoy it. Go out with the boys and play. Second is it's always dominate. Just whatever you're doing, just dominate. On the field, off the field, just dominate everything you do.
So being that this is your last year, right? You've seen sectional championships. You've seen divisional championships. You've seen great games even, right? What do you remember the most so far?
Probably the freshman year, going to the Far West Regional Championship. We didn't have a stellar team. We weren't stacked. We were bonded. We were just 16 brothers going out and fighting for each other, and no one could break that up.
So how do you create that for this season?
I think it starts from the younger guys. You really gotta show them how your culture is and how it was and what winning is. Because winning isn't always a W on the board. Winning is bringing people together, and when they're together, they're going to fight for each other, like I said earlier. So that's really the culture you got to bring up, and it starts with the younger guys, your underclassmen, your freshmen, your modified guys. You really have to show them that it's not going to be pretty. You have to work your way up, but winning isn't always a W in the win column.
Got it. Hey, Carson, I can't wait to see what you do on the field this season. I know you got great things in front of you. I know you can accomplish some big things. I can't wait to see it. All of Western New York's going to be watching. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you very much.
Our next player from Maryvale, the senior representing Maryvale, Austin Prelo. Austin, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
So, Austin, you are pitcher, infielder is what you're going to play for this team. Everyone, your coach, the last two players that I talked to, right, Dalton as well as Carson, we talked about pitching being the key to success. You're a pitcher on this team. Tell me what you need to do as a pitcher to help the success of Maryvale.
You know, I'm just going to go up there every time, try and throw strikes, and that should really be it. Let the infield, outfield make plays for me, and it should be good.
So what are you known for as a pitcher? Every pitcher's known for something. What are you known for?
My fastball, it's got a lot of movement. I throw only a two-seam. Hitters don't expect it. A lot of movement towards the outside of the plate. Blow everybody away.
Perfect. Do you have any off-speed too?
Curveball, pretty good.
Nice. Awesome. Well, we can't wait to see that this season, right? So listen, it's been a year off, 2 years into this. You're out here practicing, and how do you feel right now?
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. Last year we got into the first few practices. The first few practices, they're great and all, but you're really waiting for that first game. We didn't get it last year, and I just can't wait to get it this year.
How does it feel to step on this field for the very first time?
It's amazing. I always love playing on turf. You get great hops. It's amazing.
So do you play for any team in the summer?
Not right now, no.
Did you in the past?
Yeah, I used to play for the Junior Thunderwolves 2-3 years.
Perfect. You know what it reminds me of? Washuda out in Niagara Falls, right? It has that infield turf. Believe me, this is beautiful, and I'm not saying it's, but it reminds you of that stadium, right?
Yeah.
Infield turf, grass in the outfield,
Yep.
right?
It's amazing.
That's awesome. So you know right now you are in a very competitive division when it comes to baseball. Talk about that division and how tough and what you got to do to be successful in that division.
Every day you got to show up, do your best. The whole team's got to perform. If one guy's off, that could cost you the game. So it's really just about coming here every day, putting in the work so we play as well as we can in the games.
You're a senior. You're a leader. What do you have to do as a leader?
I gotta do what's right. Lead by example, no slacking off, because everybody else is looking up to me.
You've got a coach here that's in his 6th season right now. What do you have to say about your coach leading this team?
He's amazing. He's putting in more work than all of us combined every day. He's always here first. He's always leaving last. It's workouts in the off season. He's always pushing guys to get there, even if you don't want to. He's always there.
That's great. So, what's the goal for this season?
I want to win it all.
I love it. That's what I wanted to hear. Great job. Listen, Austin, I want to say thanks so much for joining me today. I cannot wait to see what you accomplish this season. I hope it's me actually doing your game in the sectional championships, because you do get a chance to win it all. I'll be right there watching you guys, as well as all of Western New York. Congratulations on a great career so far. Finish this one off.
Thank you, sir.